Step 5 is to write your thesis statement. Your thesis statement serves as the introduction to your response to the DBQ. So part 1 of this is now it's time to answer the question. Go back and read it and your sentence of understanding once more. So for purposes of this video, I put the question in this section so that we can re-examine what we are answering, what kinds of changes in transportation and technology, early 1800s, how did those changes influence the way people lived and worked, and how do they continue to affect us today? And then I'm also looking at my sentence of understanding, which was, I will describe changes in transportation and technology that took place in the early 1800s. So you've actually just written out what it is that you're going to write about. You're going to explain how those changes influence the way people lived and worked, and I will explain how these changes continue to affect our lives today. So part 2 of this is to look back through the information that you gathered either from your memory, from reviewing lessons from 2.01 through 2.05, and your document analysis that you did in step 4. That's why it is important to do steps 2, 3, and 4 before you even try to do this, or you're not going to have the information available to be successful. Part 3, you're going to think about what is your short answer to the question, and you're going to write that answer in 1 or 2 clear sentences. When you are writing a thesis statement, you always use third person. You do not use the word I. You don't say things like I think or I know. Use third person as if you are writing as the expert. You may mention the topics that are going to appear in the explanation of your answer, or your answer can be more general. Do not include specific information in this short answer. You're going to add specifics later. You can refer to step 5 on Kaya's essay sheet for an example of a thesis statement. So let's take a look at what she wrote. So her thesis statement, now she's writing about population between in the United States and writing about immigrants, which is not what you are writing about. Remember, you are writing about technology from the early 1800s. But this is her short answer. She said the population in the US between 1840 and 1860 grew. The cities grew because of this. There are new factories and immigrants came to the United States. So she just wrote a short answer that answered those questions. So back to our thesis statement. I wrote a thesis statement that you can use as a template to write your own thesis statement. A thesis statement is your answer to the question. It is your claim. It is what you are writing about. And then you are going to give examples to support that claim or to support that main idea. And then you're going to give details about those ideas that support the claim. All that together is a thesis statement. So I have answered our question from above in a couple of sentences. There were many changes to transportation and technology in the early 1800s. Let me add an S there, that changed the way people lived and still affect our lives today. 2 of these changes were blank and blank. This is where you're going to fill in and talk about 2 specific changes that took place. And that is how you write a thesis statement. You can use this example as a template to write your own, or you can completely write your own using this as a model.